It is great to be back in Miami.
Wynwood is in the heart of Miami.
I love Wynwood Walls because every time we come here it changes.
Follow me. I'm so excited. Rule number 1, don't be afraid.
I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting you to be very good.
Today we're returning to where full-time travel started for us, Wynwood, our favorite neighborhood in Miami. It's a place known around the globe for incredible art. Come along as we eat, sightsee, and paint our way through one of the most colorful places in Florida. We're Howard and Caitlin Newstate, dog people, food people, adventure people. We've been living on the road for the past 5 years, traveling in our Winnebago RV and jet-setting to destinations around the globe. Each week we bring you along with us to show you how to live like a local in every new state we visit.
It is great to be back in Miami. This is actually where we started our adventures back in August of 2018 before we hit the road.
We lived in Miami Beach very briefly, and one of our favorite areas when we lived here was Wynwood. And that is because it is such an incredible artist enclave, and it's home to the famous Wynwood Walls.
Wynwood is in the heart of Miami, so it's really centrally located. Wynwood is a collection of businesses, hotels, restaurants, artists who are all building community, not only for Wynwood, but for greater Miami. Wynwood Walls is the world's leading street art museum. It opened in 2009, and it was the vision of the late Tony Goldman. He founded Goldman Properties in 1968 in New York City and expanded into other cities with the goal of revitalizing urban neighborhoods. In the early 2000s, his son, Joey Goldman, located the area of Wynwood, which at the time was a really defunct area. It was abandoned factories and very industrial, and all of this real estate, which is commercial here, were the factory garage doors of a lot of these industrial spaces, and they optimized the exterior of that commercial real estate as canvases for artists to create compelling narrative-driven work. And so the concept was to bring diversity, inclusiveness, build community through art as that medium, opening the doors in 2009. This is actually the third time that this artist, Shephard Fairey, created a piece here. His idea for this piece and a lot of his pieces are really paying homage to freedom fighters. So you can see there are a series of books here that reference some of those freedom fighters. You can see Frida Kahlo, Nelson Mandela, and then there's also the late Tony Goldman. This piece was actually done with a lot of stencils. So they come and they swipe up the paint that's already been positioned with a stencil. So it goes up very quickly, takes a lot of creativity off-site. Shephard usually always tries to incorporate people who are relevant or innovative or inspiring to that specific area. So that's why Tony is included on this. And a lot of people come to the Wynwood Walls and don't understand that it, was founded by somebody who had a vision to bring community together through art. And we're really excited that Shephard created this, and it's really a beautiful refresh. This is a brand new piece from a Spanish artist named Dulk. This piece is actually entitled Roots. He is an artist who goes on location, and he's actually been on tour traveling to a lot of national parks. And this is animals that you would see in the Florida Everglades. So although he's a Spanish artist, he came and he was like, you know what, I definitely want to identify animals that are native to Florida. So that's why that's a great piece.
I love Wynwood Walls because every time we come here it changes. In some cases, the same artist like Shephard Fairey will come in multiple times and will overlay their existing art with new art, or other artists are brought in to replace current artists in the same place.
We have an artist who is in our group show, Future Starts Now, Risk, who had a mural here, and he came here and we asked him, what does it mean to be at the Wynwood Walls? He says, it is like the Olympics of street art. It's like receiving your Academy Award once you've come to the Wynwood Walls. It is the milestone in an artist's career to appear here. Entering the Wynwood Walls, you understand what that means once you walk through the gates.
Or do you have a favorite piece that you have seen today?
It's hard to pick like a favorite. What I would say is I like the versatility and variety of the types of art, like right behind us. So there's these full-size sculptures. In one case, I think the one sculpture is like 18 feet tall.
The name of the sculpture is Great Debate, and it was created by the artist Hebru Brantley, which is an American artist based in Los Angeles. It was designed from LA, and then it was delivered in pieces, and it had to be brought in on a crane. We actually were all here one night when the head was finally making its way on top of the shoulders, and everyone was clapping. It's actually painted black from the same paint that is automotive paint. It is only going to be here for a limited amount of time. So
very special
it's a very special piece, and it is the largest sculpture that we've ever had here at the Wynwood Walls.
That same artist has an entire exhibition inside, so you can see more of their pieces. It's so cool to see all the different types of art. These are even pieces of art. These giant boulders have carvings in them. It's so neat.
There are a lot of artists and art pieces in Greater Wynwood. Some of the other art pieces may have been commissioned by other business owners, or they may be tagged. So there's really kind of a hierarchy in street and graffiti artists. You know, some of them may be newer to the culture, and they may be tagging, which is, you know, they're just optimizing a space for themselves and creating a piece. They may be commissioned by somebody who owns that space and has asked them to do a specific concept. And then there are pieces that we see here in the Wynwood Walls that have been curated by our curators. It really is a great place to spend time, either by yourself, with friends, with family, to really immerse yourself in world-class art. It's special to Miami. We don't have anything else like this in the entire area of Miami. So I highly recommend coming here. It's also a great place to get really good selfies. You know, it is. I can't think of another place in Miami where you're going to find an 18-foot sculpture that you can stand beside to really convey how massive this is.
So we just stopped at Oasis for some lunch. We had some poke bowls. I had a poke bowl with jalapeno. Caitlin had it without jalapeno. That's the only thing I would describe. Caitlin, would you add anything?
Yeah, I think mine had a bit more fish varieties as well.
Yes, but anyway, they have a food court outside. It's really cool. Everything's built with like shipping containers, and you can get pretty much everything from like tacos to pasta to sushi.
Here in Wynwood, there is no shortage of great restaurants, bars, and even breweries where you can grab some delicious craft beer in a super fun environment. And if you're looking for a sweet treat, you have to visit the Salty Donut, but be prepared to order more than one.
They have major ties here to the Wynwood area because that was their very first location. And they also have gluten-free donuts, so I'm gonna give this one a try right here. It looks amazing.
The Salty Donut was founded by a local couple, Amanda and Andy, who followed their dreams and opened their first pop-up location here in Wynwood, operating out of a vintage trailer. They've since grown to 11 locations across 4 states, and it's easy to see why they are so popular. The donuts are incredible. I think our favorite was the Tres Leches, which was stuffed with a delicious cream filling, and they're equally as beautiful as they are yummy. After strolling around Wynwood, taking in all the incredible street art, grabbing a bite to eat, and visiting the famous Wynwood Walls, you should definitely plan a visit to the world's only museum dedicated to the history of graffiti. It's only fitting, considering street art and graffiti are part of what makes this neighborhood so special. The museum is so well done and dives into graffiti around the globe, the different art styles, terminology, types of spray paint, and how villainized and criminalized graffiti artists used to be. It is a fascinating look into the evolution of street art and certainly gave me a deeper appreciation for the artists who were pioneers in their field.
Okay, so we've been looking at art all day, and now we're actually going to try our hand and take a graffiti for beginners class. We are learning from an artist. I am very excited because I've obviously never done graffiti before.
And what's your name, Kayla?
My writer name?
Well, think about it,
I know.
and then you can write it.
Okay, and we have to come up with our crew name too. But we are Toys, which are very inexperienced artists. I learned from the Graffiti Museum.
Follow me.
I'm so excited.
Today's not a skills lesson, but more of an experience. My name is Ryan the Wheelbarrow. You can call me Ryan, or Wheelie, or Mr. Barrow if you will. But I'm a local artist here in Wynwood. I've been doing my art for the last 20 years. I think currently I have about 7 murals throughout the neighborhood. And today I want to teach you guys a little bit about graffiti. Here, take this, need this, shake this, take this. Here, take this, shake this, take this, shake this. So what we're doing right now is we're just taking the pigment, which is usually acrylic, the solvent, which is usually alcohol, and the air pressure to just kind of mix up. Normally all the pigment falls to the bottom, and you have this little straw going all the way down to the bottom. So that's why spray paint you usually have to hold upright. You know how long it's been here. There's 2 different types of nozzles that I'm hooking you guys up with. The golden one is an ultra fat cap. The black one is more of a skinny tip. That's great for lines, fades, flares. The fat cap is for bombing. But I want you guys to kind of try everything. I have a couple other spray nozzles that we'll interchange. You know, and you guys, I see this as an open conversation, so if at any point you got a question, just interject. All right, rule number 1, don't be afraid.
Try it?
Yeah, give it a go.
Yeah, I go.
Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah, so try the other one. Oh yeah, lost skin air.
It really is. And feel free to come grab another.
What do you think, Kaylin?
It's really hot. I walk away for 2 seconds. What happened?
H. Oh.
I can't help but see that you wrote over my beautiful K, though. You're not supposed to write over other people's art.
No, that's if they're dead.
You know, if you want it to look like all like.
What you got there, Kaylin?
It's my rattlesnake. The tail is the rattle.
Oh man.
That eye.
Yeah, and see, I did H-B-O-M-B. H-bomb. That's my name.
I'm actually pretty impressed, Howard.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting you to be very good.
I think back to, remember when we made our own ornaments?
Yeah.
During Christmas. Yeah, in Louisville. Mine wasn't very good. Caitlin's was like a piece of art. It was a flamingo and all that. And I was just getting by with like a snowman.
This is good. All right, I picked up some new techniques from watching our instructor that I'm gonna try. He made it look very easy because he's a professional. So I'm gonna give it a go.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, Caitlin.
Looks nothing like his, but it's
That looks
not bad.
great.
What do you say?
That we're doing great. He said, honestly, no further instruction necessary. We are ready. We have graduated.
I don't think that's what he said.
No, he was giving us some great pointers. You don't think of it truly as like art, but it really is art. It's like a paintbrush. And the closer, the further away you are from the wall, you can make different shapes appear. You can make a really fine line, or you can make something that's more like almost feathered. It's really amazing.
But he did say that he liked our color scheme. It just needs a little bit more orange, he thinks.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get...
That was amazing. And that's how you make that.
That's what you did when I turned around?
Yeah. Yeah. I just, I graduated really fast from making a moon to that.
Taking the class will definitely give you a much greater appreciation when you're out and you see graffiti art, because there is so much that goes into making these masterpieces and trying to get those fine lines and the swirls and making the bubble letters. I mean, it is hard. It is very hard work. And I'm really glad we did this, and they offer this here at the Graffiti Museum every Saturday, so you can come out and learn from an actual artist, an expert in the field, and they'll give you pointers on how to make your own masterpiece. But you might get a little painting.
Next week, it's back to our national park tour as we head south to Key West. Come along as we venture out to one of the smallest and most remote national parks in the country, Dry Tortugas. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.